Hi, in this video we'll see how to raise a purchase request. A purchase request, once it is approved, it becomes a purchase order and it would be emailed to the vendor accordingly. We can raise a purchase request from the transaction tab under accounts payable. That is, the people who have access for accounts payable, they can raise a purchase request from here. Or alternatively, a purchase request can also be raised under self-service tab. Why it is under two tabs? Under self-service, when an organization grows big, it is not possible for accounts team to raise a purchase request. So anyone from the organization can raise a purchase request. But if it is raised under self-service, first it will go to his or her manager for the first approval, then it will follow the regular approval flow. And then these purchase request becomes a purchase order. And if it is raised from this transaction tab, the approval flow is different. But the screen is same, be it if you it is raised from an accounts payable or from self-service, the options are same, only the approval flow is different. Because first under self-service it need to go to the manager and his or her immediate manager, then it will follow the approval flow. Okay, now we are under transaction tab. We are clicking the purchase request. So this is the purchase request dashboard. We can raise a new purchase request by clicking an option of raise purchase request. So this is the data that we need to fill. So this purchase request is for which project? I will call as admin overhead or generic overhead. If we type two letters, the data get filtered. If you remember in the last video, we made a master Excel, that is some basic data in order to do accounting, that is items, list of debtors, vendors, projects, and business unit, and chart of accounts, that is the GL code. So this Excel would be handy for doing any transaction. So business unit, so which location this purchase request belongs to? It belongs to ECT. Once you fill, you can see automatically the bill to address, it is all being filled based on the master data, vendor serial. So this purchase request is for which vendor? Again, let's go to our Excel where we had the master data. So let's raise a purchase request for Hindustan Agro Limited, which is vendor 4. Either I can type vendor 4 here and you can see automatically the bill from, that is the vendor details, is populated automatically. Or alternatively, I can even type either vendor code I can type in or the name I can type in. The purchase request is in which currency? It is in INR. I am typing, if I type IN, automatically it get filtered accordingly. And this is INR exchange rate. The exchange rate which is used for this, I am using the default exchange rate. Do PO has to be emailed? Yes or no? If I click yes, it will show to which point of contact. Once this purchase request getting approved, after approved, it will go to Varun and it go to the Rishabh as well. If we want one more point of contact to be emailed, we can give a mail ID also. If we don't want this PO to be mailed on approval, you can click no. Then after approval, this PO, though it would be created, the purchase request after approving it converted into purchase order, but it won't be emailed. So I want this to be mailed to the vendor. And in the next tab, we need to fill the item details, which we are procuring under this purchase request. That is, once it get approved into purchase order, later on the vendor has to supply these items. So let's add some items. We'll select some raw materials category items. So caustic soda and as well as sodium hydroxide. And let's add one more line item, which is 31 sodium hydroxide. Either I can enter 31 or if I enter sodium hydroxide, the data get filtered. Say for example, I just removed, and you can see if I type sodium, it get filtered, sodium hydroxide. And what is the description that you want on this purchase request? That is once it get converted into purchase order. So caustic soda export grade. This is what I want to print on the purchase order. Sodium hydroxide export grade. We can type anything that you want, and this is for which project. So that is the reason we should have this Excel handy. So we'll be buying for an oils generic project. Oils generic project. Let me copy and paste. And sodium hydroxide. This I would be buying in bags or units. You can select any units. That is, if you think it is bags or something, you can see bags. Any unit which is relevant in liters or kgs, meters, anything. In this case, I am buying in units. So basically, it is a bags in this case. So I want this and 10 units of this and 15 units of this per unit price in INR. This is the document price. We have given the document currency in the screen as INR. So this is the purchase request currency. In INR, what is the document per unit price? 1500 per unit. And this is 1600 per unit. Is there any tax? There are 5% is tax. 5. And basic and tax total price, all this would be calculated by the system. And if you want any line remarks to be printed, we can on the purchase request we can give double packing to be done. So what all the things that we negotiate that we can capture in the purchase request? If you want any internal remarks, you can capture it. And when do you expect a delivery for this? I expect a delivery by 30th August. So this is not a service, so we don't need to give any service start date and end date. By default, based on the item, this has given the GL code where it get accounted subsequently. If you want, you can change it, or even if it is like this, subsequently when you are accounting at the time also you can change. So let's click calculate. On clicking calculate, you can see the values are calculated. We have given units and as well as per unit, and you can preview by clicking on preview. We can see how this quotation would be once this is a purchase request. Right now this is a preview at this point of time. Once this purchase request get approved, this is how it would be. Caustic soda export grade. This is what we captured here. Units are units, units in units. How many quantity per unit price and when is expected delivery date. And the remarks that we have given in here, these also would be printed line remarks, double packing to be done, double packing to be done. So the conditions, what all we discussed with the vendor and it is accepted, that need to be captured in the purchase request and which get converted to purchase order. So subsequently, at any point of time when the items are received, you will know, okay, we have requested for double packing, and we can see whether the packing has been received or not. And the system know what all the units expected and when it is expected, when the delivery is expected and at what rate, and what would be the tax. So all this data is available with the system, and it would be received from, bill from, and it would be shipped to, bill from, ship from, details are there. So preview is looking fine. So let's proceed with rise. And we have raised it. We can see under purchase request, show purchase request we can retrieve the purchase request what we have raised. We can, as you have seen as we have seen, you can see retrieve a document by document number or the person who raised. In this case, I have raised it. I can see if I select, I can see I have raised so many, and this is the APPR7 which is raised now and it is pending. I can see the status. Then next it goes to the Rohan. Once Rohan's approve it, it becomes an purchase order, and I can see what is the purchase request I have raised for. I have raised for caustic soda export grade and all, and what is the quantity, and what is the additional request I want double packing to be done. So all this is captured. I can even retrieve by date. So by today date, how many I have raised? Only one. I can see the status and as well as the display status. So this is the purchase request rising, and subsequently when Rohan approves, these purchase request will be mailed to the vendor. So let's log off as an Vikram and let's log in as an Rohan. I'm logging off as an Vikram and we'll log in as an Rohan, and we'll approve that purchase request and we'll see how it would be mailed. So let's log in as an Rohan now for the same entity, and let's approve the purchase request. So now Rohan has logged in. He can see, he will go to the purchase request dashboard, and under request for approval there is a request which is waiting for his approval. He can see the approval status. That means Rohan is a final approval. Either I can see the purchase request, and he can see for which project, and who is the vendor, and whether expected delivery date has to be printed or not, whether PO has to be mailed. If it is mailed, it will go to whom, and he can see the items which are expected under this purchase request, what is the quantity, rate, and when it is the delivery. Under attachments, he can see the purchase request which is raised, and one can see this request is raised by whom. So he can verify or he can approve. So if he clicks approve, he will get an approve button. Either he can add remarks or something. So now he clicks as an approved. So it goes to this mail ID. So Rohan is now approving. So what happened is purchase request is approved. Purchase request on approving, it becomes a purchase order. It is APPO, accounts payable purchase order number 7. It is approved. Files are saved to this cloud. That is, this purchase order is saved to the cloud and it is emailed to the vendor as well. And vendor, let's log into the vendor email. That email what we have given. So vendor will receive an email like this. That is purchase order and the company name. Dear team, greetings from company XYZ company. Please find the purchase order for your records. And the purchase order would be there as an attachment. So purchase order and point of contact, mail, and you can see what all the conditions that we have requested, double packing to be done, and how many units, rate, expected delivery, and all. So vendor will receive an mail ID. In this video, what we have seen is we have raised a purchase request, and purchase request we have raised a purchase request in the in using Vikram as a login, and later on it went to approver of Rohan, and you can retrieve this purchase request at any point of time. So I'm using a date option. So you can see this is the audit log. So purchase request PR7 is raised by Vikram and it is approved by Rohan. And once Rohan approved, automatically an email would be sent to the vendor with the purchase order, so that the vendor will subsequently will dispatch those goods, or if it is a goods or if it is a services, he will render the services. So against these purchase orders, subsequently invoices would be accounted in AS. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you.